Hi everybody, welcome to Love Tribe channel.
Hi, welcome home to Love Tribe channel. I wanted to do this topic about 2 months ago, but something in me held me back. This day I read the news about the increasing of COVID cases, which make the government of some country implement the quarantine again. The citizens don't want to obey the government's requirement and feel depressed. That's why I decided to do this topic, because I recognize people likely couldn't stand the pressure's quiet time. Maybe you have pressure in financial aspect, but do you think it's really worse? The situation of staying at home is better than war or violence like what happened in Myanmar recently. Okay, now I share with you how I spend my time at home, including the jobless period. It's not much different from you. I read books in many kinds which aroused my curiosity, both with the hard copies or online sources. I even read kind of novel which opened to me a new virtual world with ups and downs, emotional experience. I watch YouTube or videos with the contents that I liked, such as DIY contents, the aliens, the mystery world, UFO, mystical subjects, drawings, colorings, showing, or inspiration speaking, as well as tarot. From these, I found some useful ideas or content that improve my knowledge, and some inspire me to try new things. From these tries, I recognize some interests of myself that I've never supposed that I would. Yeah, that's the way I recognize how interest and how inspired when taking the first step in new field. When an interest makes you feel desire every time you spend time on it, such as research, experiment, editing, improving, then you will know what it means to you. You get passionate. So, what I've done until now with the interest that I spend time on, I've just talked about the period of 4 years ago until now. I can't stand the feeling of bored to do the same thing for a long time without interest. You know, I always create interest for myself. First, I continue learning the mystical teaching, or we call it the Book of Changes. That is an ancient divination manual which gave me a lot of interesting knowledge of the ancient culture, the morality, and natural laws. Before this, I learned others mystical courses just because of curious, not for being a fortune teller. You know, I want to know how the fortune teller give their prediction, whether there are rules or just they can foresee some things, and whether we can believe in what they told. So, who would be the instructor for me? Yes, it is always my consideration when I decide to learn something, especially in spiritual fields. My first real teacher in this field is the second son of the experienced archaeologist of Vietnam at that time. Unluckily, I didn't have the chance to meet the archaeologist because he passed away some months before I became his son's student. From here, I had chances to learn with others, teachers in different branches of mysticism, who gave systematic instruction and years of experience sharing. All these have brought me a new world of ancient wisdom. It's not what I've ever imagined about the fortune tellers. The prediction that I've learned comes from arithmetic rules and observation statistics. The more I learn, the more I recognize the relationship as well as the connection of the life's rule and natural rules. Hope that I can share this with you in the future when it's the right time. And the second, I took 6 to 8 months course of interior design. I learned basic knowledge of this topic. I learned drawing technique both with hands as well as relevant software. But did you know that I've never thought I will learn this because I was searching for web design or online business course before I saw and decided to learn the interior design course. Yes, all the cells in me know what I want. I love the beauty in everything. I love drawing, I love colors, I love the beauty of nature and the cute things. So I put aside my beginning purpose of learning something for money and choose to learn the course that make me feel exciting and curious and expectation. Even though I haven't worked in this industry, but I appreciate that the course is giving me the interest and useful knowledge. I have a wider view and understand the living space. I can observe, enjoy, and learn the design when visiting places. That's great benefits, right? And third, I learned short-term course of fashion design, which brought me the world of fashion. The fashion world really interesting because it's not just materials, it's not just style or forms or trends. It's the history of cultures, history of social and revolution. Okay, I told you, I didn't like history subject in my school time. because the book that I read at school didn't tell much interesting stories, didn't tell the beauty of revolution. It was the summary of the periods of the war with details, numbers of enemies' deaths, details of time and date of the events, how many air forces and tanks of enemy were destroyed. But from the view of fashion history, I saw new life after that. I do not talk about war. I talk about revolution. I nearly finished the course, but I didn't take the graduated subject. I knew that the subject wouldn't give me the desire because there were much more knowledge that I still have to learn if I want to be a designer. I won't do something just because of certificate when I choose it for love. So, could I design or make clothes for myself? Yes, of course. You see? These two dresses were what I have done recently. One is using sewing machine and one is 90% hand sewing. But this still not mean I am a designer. Professional standard. However, I'm happy with what I've done. And I was aware the answer for some why in me during the process of making the clothes. I really appreciate the experience. And what's next? I learned fashion illustration from a young fashion illustrator, Eric String. You can easily find his news on internet and Instagram. Besides the illustration knowledge and technique that I learned from him, I learned his life, his dedication for the passionate, his effort and perseverance, even though he's much more younger than me. I respect him as a master because the way he lived for the passionate. I gained a lot of positive energy during the course. Thanks to him a lot. I rarely illustrate fashion clothes now. I draw what I love to draw, and the material coloring knowledge that he taught me work well also. Okay. I forgot to tell you that I also took drawing online course in udemy.com. I do not put much pressure on myself that I need to draw a masterpiece. And I draw in draft paper most. You know, any good work comes from practicing, right? And coloring. You see, I bought many coloring books some years ago. I even picked the old books for coloring. Do not too serious. Do not put pressure for completing. Just feel free and enjoy the time, and let your imagination flows. You see, these are some coloring that I finished and still in progress. I do not ask myself to finish one by one or plan how long to finish. I do it a little bit when I want to free my mind, when I want to practice concentration, when I don't want to think of anything else. There are pictures finished coloring. I still come back to recolor, to make it more desiring my feelings. Life is the same. We color our life with basic condition, initial understanding. Time goes by. The life experiences color our life more beautiful. We highlight it when we overcome the obstacle and sufferings. I do not intend to tell you imitate what I did. I only want to share with you there are many things we can do to spend our spare time, which can bring us not only interesting but also the life lesson. Besides, by experiencing the new things, we can learn the effort of others in making products, so we may easier feel gratitude for what we have and receive. Okay, all the above are spending time through activities. This is a kind of make us busy, then have no time for boring or feeling of redundancy. It's just a treatment, like we take painkiller rather than do the right cure for the disease. Now I want to share with you the second step of spending your spare time when you've already done similar things like above, but you are still feel not enough. Then this is a time for you. Seriously, spend time for yourself. Yes, for yourself, not for anyone or any activities. Okay, take time. Ask yourself why you feel need others, even though they are only social relationships. What do the group activities bring to you? Why you need them? Why you do not feel enough with yourself? Whether you suppose that you have existence feeling when you are in a group of people or in activity with others. Whether you feel you only have value when being with others. Have you ever asked whether those activities or relationships brought the things you truly need? Do those things bring you real happiness, or those are only habit make you feel existence? Do you really understand yourself? And do they understand you? Yes, learn to talk to yourself. Take peace time for yourself. You're aware who you are. This is much more interesting and meaningful than everything else. The more you understand yourself, the more positive energy you have, because you will know what you really need and take time for it. You will only feel not enough time for the new journey of self-understanding, because it also means you are ready for the awakening. Alright, I hope this sharing is helpful and wish all of you have good time through the divine blessing. If you like my sharing, then please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And remember, hit the reminder button for following my next video. Love you all. Bye bye. See you next video.